Hi everyone, my name is Karis. Welcome back to my corner of the internet where I talk about books and other things that I enjoy, and welcome to part 2 of all my unread books. So about a month ago-ish, I uploaded a video called All My Unread Books Part 1 where I talked through all of the unread books that I had on my bookshelves where I was currently living at my parents' house, and I said that there would be a part 2 when I eventually moved back to my flat because I had a lot of books still living in this flat here that were also unread, and that adds to my TBR quite significantly. I'm finally deciding to get around to it today. I've been putting it off, to be honest, because my bookshelf, which I don't put in shop because it is a mess, is a mess. I'm hoping that there's not going to be any overlap, but a few of them I can't actually remember if I accumulated them before I moved here. While the order that I show them in is going to be roughly like shelf by shelf, just because that's how I've pulled it off, I'm not going to talk through the organisation because honestly there is no real organisation. So I have Factfulness by Hans Rowling. This is 10 reasons we're about to change the world and why things are better than you think. I mean, are things better than I think? Debatable. I've got Divided, Why We're All Living in an Age of Walls by Tim Marshall. I've also got Prisoners of Geography by Tim Marshall, and finally I've got Worth Dying For, The Power and Politics of Flags, also by Tim Marshall. These books all still really interest me because they are topics that I'm really interested in. I love geography, but I just find sitting down and reading non-fiction so intimidating. Then I've got Seriously Curious, The Economist Explains, The Facts and Figures That Turn Your World Upside Down, edited by Tom Standage. Histories of Nations, How Their Identities Were Forged, edited by Peter Furtado. Lingo, A Language Spotter's Guide to Europe by Gaston Doran. Does It Yurt, Travels in Central Asia or How I Came to Love the Stands by Stephen M. Bland. I bought this very shortly after my own trip to Kyrgyzstan, which was just a beautiful country, but I read 5 pages of it and found that it wasn't edited very well. There's a lot of typos even in those first few pages, so although I'm really interested in the topic, I'm not sure if I will ever get around to reading this. Every Falling Star, The True Story of How I Survived and Escaped North Korea by Sung-Ju Lee and Susan McClelland. The Atlas of Happiness by Helen Russell, and then The Silk Roads and The New Silk Roads, both by Peter Frankopan. Moving on from that, I've got Blame It on Bianca Del Rio, which I'm not sure if I will ever read, but I've kept it because it's signed and personalised to me. My housemate met Bianca and got me this as well. In the Country We Love, My Family Divided by Diane Guerrero. The Beginning of the World in the Middle of the Night by Jen Campbell. Snow Falling by Jane Gloriana Villanueva. This is like the book that Jane writes in Jane the Virgin. Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo. Goodbye Days by Jeff Zentner. The Less You Know, The Sounder You Sleep by Juliet Butler. The Idiot by Elif Batuman. Middlemarch by George Eliot. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, which I actually got 234 pages into last time I attempted it, and hopefully we'll be finishing next month for the I Should Read This book club. I mean, I will be finishing it. I am a host. I have to do it. North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. The Adventure of the Six Napoleons and Other Cases by Arthur Conan Doyle. Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh. I hate this cover, but I do really want to read this at some point. The Captive Queen by Alison Weir. The Innocent Traitor, also by Alison Weir. The Marriage Game, also by Alison Weir. I think these are all non-fiction. They were my mum's and I just took them. Test of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. Again, really don't like this cover, but I'm intrigued to read this at some point. The next section of my bookshelf is a lot of YA. I'm thinking I'm going to unhaul some of this at some point soon because I doubt that I'm going to prioritise it over a lot of other stuff that I have, but I will just show you what I have as it stands at the moment. So first of all, I've got A Change Is Gonna Come. This is an anthology that I've been meaning to read forever, so I do want to get around to this one. Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. Dags by M.A. Bennett. Izzy and Tristan by Shannon Dunlap. Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Groudin. The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. All the Beautiful Strangers by Elizabeth Clayforth. This sprayed edge is quite cool. The Disreputable History of Frankie Lando Banks by E. Lockhart. When We Collided by Emery Lord. Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin O'Leary Science. Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill. Chelsea High by Jenny Oliver. Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. The Sacrifice Box by Martin Stewart. The Treatment by C.L. Taylor. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I know, this needs to be a priority. I cannot believe how long I've had this for and still haven't read it. The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Meat Market by Juno Dawson, which is another one that's quite high up my list of YA at least. Rose Interrupted by Patrice Lawrence. Here We Are Now by Jasmine Wager. Emerald Star by Jacqueline Wilson, the third book in like the Hetty Feather series. And then randomly on that shelf I also have It by Stephen King, which, let's be real, I'm probably never going to read. Why do I have this? It's massive. The Vanishing Act of Esme Lennox by Maggie O'Farrell. Unaccustomed Earth by Jhumpa Lahiri. Right, we've definitely moved, but it's all good. On to the next shelf. I've got Diamond by Jacqueline Wilson and also Little Stars, both from the same series as Emerald Star, whatever I said that one was called. The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ezeki. I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. The Girl of Ink and Stars by Kieran Millward Hargrave. In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. The Little Coffee Shop of Kabul by Deborah Rodriguez. I started this one. Oh great, I was using antihistamines as a bookmark apparently. That's good because my hay fever's been really bad recently. I started this when I was on a plane back from Cape Verde and got clearly 84 pages in and then gave up. So maybe one to give another go to at some point. Milkman by Anna Burns. Alternative Remedies for Loss by Joanna Cantor. Autobiography by Christina Lauren. Freshers by Tom Ellen and Lucy Iverson, which again I've started. I've read one chapter. I'm on page 20. Done Dirt Cheap by Sarah Nicole Lemon. Again, there's a bookmark in this. Got to page 38 of this one many years ago because I can't remember a single thing about it. Last Witness by Svetlana Alexievich. This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers. What Goes Around by Courtney Summers, which I believe is a bind up yet of Cracked Up to Be and Some Girls Are. The Last Summer of the Garrett Girls by Jessica Spotswood. Jack of Hearts and Other Parts by Elsie Rosen. Noteworthy by Riley Redgate. Giant Days by Non Pratt. Damsel by Elana K. Arnold. Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. The First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North. Final Girls by Riley Sager, which is super dusty. Little Monsters by Cara Thomas. Girls on Fire by Robin Wasserman, and as you can see there's a theme. I've read 30 pages of this one, once again a very long time ago. Bridge of Clay by Marcus Zusak. A Girl Like Her by Tanaz Bethina. American Panda by Gloria Chow. Winter by Marissa Meyer. I know I read the rest of this series years ago and still haven't finished it. Ramona Blue by Julie Murphy. A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. We Need New Names by No Violet Bullaway. The Dollmaker of Krakow by R.M. Romero. Again, started this one. I remember it was when I first started my job. I've read 18 pages though. And A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. That was it for the bookcases. Then the final lot of books are the books that are living in my trolley, and obviously also on here I have some books that I already mentioned in my first Unread Books video because I bought them back from my parents' house to here with me, so that's why there is still some like on here. I haven't actually read these, but I've already talked about them in my other video. So we've got Queenie by Candice Carty-Williams, which I will be reading next month, August, for the I Should Have Read That book club that I'm now co-hosting. Very excited to be finally picking this one up. The Beekeeper of Aleppo by Christy Leftery. The Bastard of Istanbul by Elif Shafak. Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. Rule Britannia by Daphne du Maurier. The Girls by Emma Cline. Expectation by Anna Hope. Not Working by Lisa Owen. The Paying Guests by Sarah Waters. Clean by Juno Dawson. It's Not Okay to Be Blue and Other Lies, and also Feminists Don't Wear Pink and Other Lies, edited by Scarlett Curtis. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. Three Sisters, Three Queens by Philippa Gregory. And the Mountains Echoed by Khaled Hosseini. The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary. Like Water by Rebecca Podus. I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. Dear Haiti, Love Elaine by Maika Malite and Maritza Malite. I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter by Erica L. Sanchez. My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier. And also The House on the Strand by Daphne du Maurier. Burial Rites by Hannah Kent, Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, The Familiars by Stacey Halls, 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty, A Gathering of Light by Jennifer Donnelly, So Lucky by Dawn O. Porter, Scenes of a Graphic Nature by Caroline O'Donoghue, This Green and Pleasant Land by Aisha Malik, Not Your Problem and The Falling in Love Montage, both by Kira Smith, Hanny and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating by Abida Jagodar, and finally Dilate for Aunties by Jessie Satano. So that was it, all of the unread books that I have here at my flat. Not gonna lie, this took really long to film, a lot longer than I was expecting, because as I said before, my room is a mess. But I'm glad that I've showed you all of the books now. If there are any of these books that you think I should prioritise, please let me know. Similarly, if there's anything you think I should get rid of, also let me know. A lot of that YA I think I do need to have a look through and get rid of some, because there are so many other things that are way higher up on my priorities list, and also just things coming out all the time that are then being put above those again and again. So yeah, I think some do need to go. Other than that though, that is it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're all keeping safe and staying well, and I will see you again next time. Bye.